Hey everybody. We are going to check out how to use the graphing calculator to find maximums, minimums, and x-intercepts. So we're looking at number 7 on the 4.3 notes. So if I wanted to graph this, remember we click y equals, and then we go 3x minus 6, and then hit graph. So notice that is a straight line. So does it have a max? No. So none. Does it have a min? No. X-intercepts. So in math, there's a lot of different words for x-intercepts that we'll cover this year, but the one that the calculator uses is the word zeros. So if I wanted to find the x-intercepts, you can kind of see it with your eyes, but to make sure we know what it is, you hit second, trace, and then 0 is the option for x-intercepts. So you hit enter, and then it's going to say left bound, so you want to go move your cursor anywhere to the left of the x-intercept and hit enter. And then move your cursor anywhere to the right of it. Notice you have to use the left and right arrows to move it. Hit enter, and then it says guess, and you're like, yep, so you hit enter one more time. So the 0, or x-intercept, is at 2, 0. The y-intercept, sadly, your calculator doesn't have a button for that in second trace that I'm aware of, but at a y-intercept, we know that the x value is 0. So if I take that and I plug it in for the x here, it would be like 3 times 0 minus 6. So 0 minus 6 is negative 6. So I know my y-intercept is at 0, negative 6. So anytime you want to find a y-intercept, you can just plug in 0 for x, and that allows you to find the y-intercept. Domain and range. Domain, it's going forever to the left, and, ooh, that was horrible, and forever to the right. So straight lines always have the same domain and range, forever to the left, forever to the right. Those may be a generalization, but this line for sure goes forever to the left and forever to the right. Let's try another one. So we're going to go to y equals, clear that. We're going to go x squared minus 2x minus 3, and hit graph. Here we have a parabola, which we'll cover more later this year. So this parabola does not have a maximum, because there's nowhere where it switches from increasing to decreasing. I do see a minimum at the bottom of that view. So to find a minimum, you hit second trace, and there's an option for minimum. And if we'd had a maximum, we also could have used that. So we're going to hit enter. And again, it's going to ask left bound and right bound. So we want to go to the left of the minimum, which it already is. Hit enter. Then use the right arrow to go to the right of the minimum, anywhere to the right of it. Hit enter. And then guess. Yep, so hit enter one more time. So the calculator does give very intense decimals, so we are just going to round. So 0.99999, that's going to round to just a 1. So our minimum is going to be at 1 comma negative 4. This one has 2 x-intercepts, which I can really see on my graphing calculator, but we can use the buttons. So second trace, 0 is what we use for x-intercepts. I'm going to do the left one first. So first I want to go to the left of it, hit enter, then go to the right of it, hit enter, and then hit enter one more time. So the first x-intercept is at negative 1, 0. Then we're going to do the next x-intercept. So I'm going to go to 0. I'm going to go anywhere to the left of this x-intercept, and then anywhere to the right of it. Hit enter, and my second x-intercept is at 3, 0. A reminder for the y-intercept, you have to plug in x is 0, so I'm going to plug in a 0 for all the x's. So 0 squared minus 2 times 0 minus 3. So 0, 0, so I'm just really left with negative 3. So my y-intercept is at 0, negative 3. For the parabola, parabolas are going forever to the left and forever to the right. So they are going towards negative x's forever and positive x's forever. The range is a little bit different. So we do hit a, because we have a minimum and it doesn't go any lower than the minimum, this y value of the minimum tells me that the lowest it's going to go is negative 4 because I don't see any arrows pointing downwards. So my range, the lowest it goes is negative 4, and it's a solid line, so we're going to do a bracket, and then it's going forever up, so infinity. All right, let's try another one. So now we've got x cubed, so x, the exponent button is this one, cubed, and then hit the right arrow to get out of it, minus 3x squared. And then hit graph. Ooh, we finally have a maximum and a minimum. So for the maximum, we're going to hit second trace, and this time do maximum. We're going to go to the left of the maximum, hit enter, go to the right of the maximum, hit enter, and then have a guess. Okay, so that is your calculator being very, very specific, but that e to the negative 6 is scientific notation, and it basically means when it's like times 10 to the negative 6th power. So it's going very, very, very small. So whenever you see e to the negative something, we're just going to round that to 0. So the maximum happens at 0, 0, which you can also kind of see with your eyes. Good news, that's also an x-intercept because that's where it's touching the x-axis, and that's where it's touching the y-axis, so that's also our y-intercept. Let's check out the minimum. So left of the minimum, hit enter, right of the minimum, hit enter, have a guess. So again, that 2.03, we're just going to round that to 2. So the minimum will happen at 2 and negative 4. This time, our graph is going forever both directions. So it's going forever to the left, forever to the right, forever down, forever up. Whenever those lines go off the graph like that, it's generally implied that it's going to go on forever. We may need to zoom out depending on curves, but we already see a minimum and maximum, so it seems like this one goes on forever. All right, last one. We've got x to the 4th power. Oh, I forgot the negative. Take 2. Negative x to the 4th power. Remember the negatives, you got to use that button for by enter. And for a minus, you use the minus on the keypads. 4x minus 5. So when it's in the very front, we use the negative sign. When it's in the middle, we use the minus sign. Then hit graph. I feel like maybe I typed that in wrong. Let me check. Yep, I did. All right, not to the 4th power, to the 2nd power. There we go. Okay, so whenever it's x squared, we should see a parabola. So you'll notice here it doesn't touch the x-axis, so we have no x-intercepts. We have a maximum, but no minimum. So let's find that maximum. So second trace, go to maximum. So we're going to go to the left of the maximum, and go to the right of the maximum. So our maximum is happening at negative 2, negative 1. For the y-intercept, we can plug in 0 for x, so that'll be 0 minus 0 minus 5. So our y-intercept is 0, negative 5. Domain, parabolas are always going forever to the left and forever to the right. For the range this time, it does stop going up at that maximum. So for the range, it's going forever down, but then going up, the y value that it stops at is the y value of the maximum. So it's stopping at negative 1. And it's a solid line, so we use a square bracket. All right, hopefully that was helpful in learning how to use your graphing calculator. Good luck.